All right, well, it's Friday, and we're going to break down the trades from today, finishing the day with $5,615.73 on HILS, green $20 on MGAM, and red $641 on EDBL. Those were the three stocks I traded, so finishing the day with just under 5,000. That's a good day. HILS was a second leading gapper in the market, actually gapped up 91%. It's was at about 75% just a few minutes ago on the day. It's pulled back just a little bit off that level. SQL was the leading gapper at 139%. No trades on that. I'll go over why I didn't trade it in just a moment during this recap. But let's start with the first trade. So first trade of the day for me was on EDBL. So this was just after 7 a.m. and of course sitting down on the early side right now. It's been my routine. And when I first sat down, I saw SQL was the leading gapper, but I didn't like the chart. So I was like, no, I'm not interested in that one right now. EDBL, I wasn't sure about it, but I saw it starting to pop up just a little bit. And that was right here in this candle. And I thought about getting in at like $4.95, $5, and I hesitated. It then pops up to $5.10, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get in. So I bought it at $5.15 and $5.20. And I ended up stopping out at about $5.15. I sold some break even, and I sold the rest at $5.06. So I lost $640 on that. It came back down. It ended up coming back up again later, but I didn't go back for it. So at that point when it dropped, well, first of all, I got in this because it was squeezing up. It has a relatively low float. It was gapping up about 18, maybe 20%. And I thought if it could fill this gap here on the daily, maybe we could see a move back up towards like $7 or $8. Wasn't sure that would happen, but there is clearly a gap there at 5. So get into that level, that could be good. So anyways, I didn't see anything else that looked good, and this one was starting to move, so I jumped on. Float also very low on it, super low float. Those ones can move quickly, somewhat recent reverse split. So, kind of a couple of factors there that made me a little more willing to jump in quickly on it. But when it dropped, at first I was like, whoa, okay, down 600 on the first trade. That's not a great start, but you know what? Let me just watch this thing for a second. And I was thinking about doing a dip trade, and I almost got back in at like 485. And I said, you know what? It's early. It's like 7:05. Let's wait for a second. Let me just sit here, being down 600 for a few minutes, and let's see. Maybe something else is. I bet something else will come along that's going to be better than this, because this is already running into some trouble. So let me just hold tight for a second. So I held tight. And the next stock was HILS. News came out at, it was a little after 7, I think. Let me just check my headlines here. 7:17 was when the news came out. So news comes out on HILS at 7:17, and I punched it with my first order long at 161. I was in this at 161 right here, and it goes up here to 194. That's in a 5-minute candle. It basically went straight up to $2, had a high of 213, pulls back, goes a little higher, went to some chop there. And so I was able to get green on that really quickly. And just like that, EDBL was, in the rearview mirror. I wasn't even thinking about it anymore. And now it just happened that this ended up, the news dropped at 7:18, or 7:17. It was only like 10 minutes after I took that other trade. But just like that, another stock came right around the corner, and this was my next best chance for a good trade. So it pops up, I see it's popping, I jump in immediately on a micro pullback at 61. It hits 61, it pulls back just for a second, or maybe 64. I get in there, I'm in at 61, I add 65, it goes up to a high of 70. I take some profit at 73 and 77. I then add back at 75. I take profit at 86 and 202. I add back at 93 and then take profit at about 2. And that was at 7:30. So then I didn't take any trades on it. It does go up a little bit higher. Hits 7:30, a high of 213. I didn't trade it through this area. I was like, nah, it feels a little too choppy. My next trade was at 8 a.m. on MGAM. News comes out, MGAM pops up. I jumped in at 2,000 shares, or maybe it was 4,000. Yeah, 4,000 shares. Got in. It's kind of like right away ran into a little bit of resistance. I was like, nope, I'm out of that. Got out, made half a penny, which after fees and commissions, I'll be red on it, but only, by $10 or something. So no big deal. Anyways, got in that, got out quick, and then switched back to my focus on HILS. Next trade was around 8:30, getting in at 208. Let's look at this. So 208, right? So we ended up having this nice squeeze here, back over VWAP right here. I got in right as it broke back over that level, and we got a move here up to a high of 225, although there was only like a handful of shares that traded at 225. Drops back down, comes back up, little pullback, pops up, little pullback, kind of pops up, pullback, goes up to 40. And I did trade it through this high of 40. I had a couple trades right here where I just was like getting in, getting out. It was too choppy. And my last trade was at the open right here. This was a pretty clean trade. So let's see. So that was, let me look at this here. So at the open, I jumped in at 222. Bought at 222 as it dipped down right here. It hit a low of 220. So that was pretty solid. It was like right off the low. I was thinking a red to green move. So I got in there. It rips up to 30. I take some profit at 29 and 28 because I was trading with 10, 20,000 shares. So I was like, I'll just take the profit. And then I added back at 40 and 42 and took profit as it broke through the high. Best exit was 63, it looks like. Yeah, 63. And it hit a high of 65. So, I traded it pretty well. It certainly could have been better. I could have made more on it if I took bigger share size and held a little longer, but I got some decent base hits. And with that, I said, you know what? It's Friday. I'm happy with where I sit today. I am just under the $5,000 daily goal, and I'm gonna lock it up. So that was that. That was my Friday, and this is my week. And well, this includes more than my week, but Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So it's been a pretty good week. 6 on Monday, 6 on Tuesday. So that's 12 plus another 5 today. And then let's see, so 1,800. So, I can't complain. It's been a great week. I've been slow and steady, not big winners yesterday or the day before, but nice averages and just trying to avoid another red day like that, just trying to keep my head down. If the writing is on the wall, like when I first lost on EDBL, just take the loss, sit, be patient, wait for something else. And we've been getting something else. So there's been several days where I've had a couple of choppy trades and then we get something else. And I'm like, all right, nice. Volume increasing a little bit as we're seeing a little bit more momentum. Overtraded maybe 1 or 2 of these days, but not too bad. Accuracy yesterday was a little lower, but accuracy has been pretty solid. So anyways, we'll go over metrics more at another time, but that's where I'm sitting right now. And I just kind of like to look at the calendar and see, all right, nice, looking good. Nice, steady green days. That's what I like to see. Another green day here. Next week, we'll have a full week. I think this might be President's Day. I think we have a market holiday on the 20th, and then it'll be a shorter week here. I have to double check, but almost positive on that. Anyways, so, right now it's still we're 6 weeks into the, we're 6 weeks into the year, and I'm just trying to build a little bit of cushion. Week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, so 6 weeks in, trying to build that cushion. Slow and steady wins the race, and every now and then maybe we'll get a couple of really nice trades where I can open up and have some bigger green days, but I'm sure we'll get some opportunities, and in the meantime I'm just going to keep my head down and try to stay disciplined. So that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoy the recap. Questions and comments, leave them down below. A reminder as always that trading is risky, my results aren't typical, and there's no guarantee you'll find success whether you trade on your own or learn from me. So please take it slow, practice this simulator before you put real money on the line, and I'll see you back here on Monday.